welcome everyone. Today we will explore how to write more cleaner and shorter loops in Python using comprehensions. So in the last session, we learned about different types of operators and how we can use those operators with data structures, sequences, and how to use these different kind of operators. In today's session, we are going to learn about comprehensions. So in many situations, we write a loop to transform or filter some data or to generate new kind of a data. And during this process, sometimes we need to create a new particular variable, store the values in that variable. So this complexity can be reduced by using comprehensions. Comprehensions make our loops shorter and sometimes more simpler to understand, but sometimes it can also make our loops more complex. So we will also understand when you should write comprehensions and when you should not write comprehensions as a code. So starting with list comprehension. So a list comprehension allows us to build a new list by transforming or filtering elements from an existing iterable sequence. Iterable sequence could be string, list, tuple, or a range function as well. So we write the expression that we want to include in the new list, followed by a for loop. So this is the syntax. We write the expression followed by a for loop and followed by the particular for loop syntax. So this will result in giving us a particular output list based on the results of the for loop. So we are going to take an example of the traditional looping method and how list comprehension can make the syntax more uh, easier and more shorter. So in the traditional way, let's say we wanted to generate the squares of numbers 0 to 4. So if I just loop over range up to 5 and I store my squares in a list, for each squares, I will append the square value of each number. So I will also print this so we can compare both the results. So this is how we might be using when using the traditional approach of using list and a for loop. While when we use comprehension, what we'll do is we'll simply write two square brackets, and in this square brackets, how I will approach this is whatever particular uh, operation that was I'm going to perform on the values, that operation followed by the for loop, and here you can simply copy paste your for loop syntax that you are anyway going to use in your traditional for loop. So this is what is like the syntax of the list comprehension, and this will also yield in the same result containing the square of each number ranging from 0 to 4. So as you can see, 0, 1, 4, 9, 6, as the numbers in range of 0 to 4, or we could have also done this just to avoid 0. Right. So 1, 4, 9, 16, and 25. So this is how list comprehension can shorten up your code by simply using a this is like the comprehensions are also called as one-liner loops. So you just have to create a list, and inside the list we use our for loop. So that is what is like the syntax of the comprehension is. Then list comprehensions with an if condition. So using the if condition, we can filter elements that we are looping through in our for loop. So this can help us write more powerful comprehensions and allow us to clean or filter our data in a single line. So let's say I just wanted to print the even numbers from a particular list of numbers, and here the sequence of numbers that I have is 0 to 9. So I just want to print out the even numbers. So I can simply write my if condition, that is I value divided by 2 equal to 0, that my if the remainder is 0, then my number, the given number is an even number. Right. So as you can see, it's output 02468. And how you can visualize this is, so how it works is it takes the value of I. So whatever output you are seeing here is the value of I, and this is the for loop sequence. Uh, the for loop expression. So how it works is for I in range of 10. So what happens is this particular uh, let's say it starts with 0, so it will go 0 in range of uh, I meant for I in range. So I value will be equal to 0, then the if statement runs if 0 divided by 2 equal to 0, like is the remainder 0. If yes, the remainder is 0, then this particular I value is stored inside this events list. Then it goes for 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is how this particular comprehension works as a syntax. Then we can also process nested list comprehension. So we can write two for loops inside our final list that we are going to generate. So here we are taking an example of flattening a 2D list. So we have a matrix with us and we want to flatten it. So flattening a list meaning you have a list with some rows and columns. So uh, let's say if we want to understand this code, so the code is in format of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, comma 6, and this is in a whole list, right? So this is the list that we have, and we want to flatten it out. So flattening this means we want to convert this into a format like this. So this is what we call as flattening of a list. So, and 1D lists are already flattened. So if you have 2D list, 3D list, on that only we can flatten a list. So how, like what the logic will fit here is we will iterate over each row, and for each row we will iterate over each element. So the same code we have written here. So number for row in matrix. So how it goes is for each row it will like loop over. Then inside each row it will loop for a particular element, that is number. So first time it will go and add 1 here, then 2, then it will change, like then it will come back to the outer loop. It will select this row. Then for this row it will first add 3, then add 4, then again it will come out of this loop and come back to this loop, and it will loop over 5 and 6. So that is how 5 and 6 would be added, and here my output would be something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that is how the flattening of 2D list using list comprehensions can be done. Then, like lists, we can also create dictionaries using the similar comprehension syntax. In this, the only difference would be we would be using a key value expression instead of the standard single value, and the instead of the square brackets, we will be using the curly brackets. So the options, or I would say the uh, values which you can, like, sorry, the programs or the, like, in a real world programming scenarios, usage of like dictionary comprehensions or set comprehensions are very less. uh, like we can still perform, but like you would be very limited to certain scenarios where like using a comprehension might not solve all your cases. So here we are doing the same thing, like generating the square numbers for each value. So the square of 1 is 1, the square of 2 is 4, for 3 it is 9, and for 4 it is 16. So this is how we can store the key value pair and create a dictionary comprehension. Then set comprehensions. So with respect to set comprehensions, if you want to store unique values, like uh, in your logic. So to store those unique values, it would be better to use set comprehension instead of a list comprehension. The only difference here you would find is instead of the square brackets, you will use curly brackets, and the overall syntax of your list comprehensions will be the same. And this will allow you to store unique values. And as we said, these are useful when we want a collection without any duplicates. So let's say we were iterating over some string, and we just wanted to capture all the unique characters in it. We will first loop over the overall string, and we were just adding a condition that the character is not equal to a blank spaced value. So it will capture all the alphabets that are present in our particular string. So that is how set comprehensions can be used to store the unique values. Right. So now when not to use comprehensions. So if a logic is complex, or let's say if your loop was too big, containing multiple conditions, containing multiple sub loops, then comprehensions can reduce your code readability. It can turn out to be very complex to read. And even after a certain point, multiple conditions and multiple nested loops may not be possible in comprehensions. uh, and as I said, avoid deeply nested comprehensions, and uh, you would still have to use regular loops when you are going to print some values, or store some values to log, just to debug later whenever there is some issues in the code. So logging is also an important part. So we need to use regular loops when we need to print or log something into our systems. So there also we want to be able to use comprehensions. So in today's session, we learned about how comprehensions helps us in writing concise and more readable code under certain limits. We saw list, dictionary, and set comprehensions. We also saw how to use the if condition. And remember, readability should be your priority when using comprehensions. Just don't use comprehensions because it shortens the code. It can also make your code non-readable if you just write a very complex logic into a comprehension syntax. In the next session, we will learn how to write reusable blocks of code using functions in Python. This includes defining them with the def keyword, working with the basic default argument values, and how to also return a value from a function. So yeah, thank you for joining today's session. Let's meet in the next session. Have a nice day.